Hey, Greenville Inspired Community, thanks for joining us. Today I've got Lazaro Montado from Tropical Grille joining us. And with these videos, we just wanted to kind of talk to some local businesses and see what they're experiencing right now, and hopefully some things that we can look forward to and be inspired about in the future with, just all the gloom that's going on right now. We want to look towards the future and try to get inspired all together. So Lazaro, tell us a little bit about what's going on right now with your business.
It's obviously a challenging time. I'd be lying if it wasn't, if I was telling you otherwise. It's a little challenging, but we're constantly adapting with the changes that have come our way and finding new ways to better serve our customers and to better serve the community.
So walk us through a little bit, just the last 3 or 4 weeks. Everybody's kind of making things up as they go because nobody's ever experienced this. So tell me kind of, with your business in mind, what happened 3 or 4 weeks ago, and kind of bring it up to today.
I mean, I think we go from day one. I remember the panic coming in when we first heard that dining rooms were going to close, and initially it was just like felt like the world was going to fall on your shoulders, and got an opportunity to take a deep breath, pray about it a little bit, and kind of gather ourselves. And my wife and I, we discuss all our business decisions together. And she's kind of the calmer one of the two of us. She's the one that kind of keeps an even keel. So we talked about it. She's like, listen, everything's going to be all right. We'll adjust as needed, and we'll continue to do what we've always done, which is just serve our food, and she pointed out the fact that, that we're built for this, for to-goes. It's what we've done well for so long. So, once I kind of got that initial craziness out of my head of doom and gloom, which I think a lot of people probably felt initially, we were able to get our team together, game plan on what we were going to do. And really it's what I told my guys were, listen, we're going to continue to do what we've always done. We're going to try to be more efficient for sure, because I think efficiency is going to be key to keeping people coming back. So efficiency on the drive-through, efficiency with our orders in-house for the people that are walking into to do to-goes, and more than anything it was really just making sure that our customers knew how appreciated they were. It's something that we've always pushed. Customer service has always been number one for me, coming from fine dining my entire life. Customer service is number one. So, just kind of emphasize it to my team and say, listen, right now more than ever, when somebody chooses to come to Tropical Grille, we need to make sure they understand how grateful we are. So that was the message that we put out to our team, and they took it and they ran with it.
Now, how have you guys been able to help out the community in any way? I've followed you on Facebook, and I've seen lots of pictures that y'all are posting where I've seen first responders and hospital employees, with bags of your food, being very grateful. Tell me a little bit about kind of what all that's about.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back to the heart of Tropical Grille, if you go back to 10 years ago when we first started, our original location was on Pelham Road and East North Street, very close to St. Francis, to Greenville Memorial. And for a lot of years, and still to this day, we dubbed it a safer place to eat in Greenville because of the support we've gotten from the police department and of course the nurses and doctors coming from Greenville Memorial and St. Francis. Their support was probably the biggest reason why Tropical Grille is still around. So, initially the schools got let out. So our hearts went right there and said, okay, what do we need to do to make sure these kids are still being fed? Because, going back to my childhood, there was times where if we didn't have school lunch, we were probably in trouble. There wasn't much to eat at home sometimes, single mother and trying to do what she could. So the school lunches were very helpful to us growing up. So my heart went to that. And I told my team, listen, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to start serving the children. We're going to do it for the 2 weeks that they're out. We're just going to serve them and trust God in the process. And even though we're going through our own financial struggles, we're going to trust God in the process. And we did. We started serving the kids. I think week 1 we did about 1,300, 1,400 kids for free. And then, of course, the community saw what we were doing and they wanted to get involved. And a lot of people reached out to us and said, how can we help you? How can we help? So we opened up the opportunity for the community to jump in and support us in it. And the support was overwhelming. People came out of everywhere just dropping donations and allowing us to extend it and continue to support the kids. And at the end of it, we served over 3,000 children. And, as it continued to evolve, the school lunch program developed a little better and they started to get their organization better. So we decided, okay, the kids are being taken care of now from that standpoint. Where else can we put our focus in? And we decided that we would do, all first responders, healthcare, EMT, I mean, you name it, everybody that was on the front lines. We said, let's show these guys some love. And again, it was another one of those things I didn't know what was going to happen. I said, let's just hope for the best. And we put it out there. And again, the community rallied behind us. And we've had companies, even as recent as today, want to jump on board and say, how can we help? And we have a company that's teaming up with us to donate meals. So, at that point, it's our responsibility to make sure that every single meal goes out. So we're going to coordinate with the hospitals and make sure that these doctors and nurses and frontline workers that have been supporting us since day one, that we're just showing them, a little love and being the hands and feet that we're called to be. So that's been our goal.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. One of the things that I've talked about with some people, just regarding everything that's going on, is that, this is something out of, movies, just the level of what's going on. But the difference is, in most of these movies, I mean, you see within the first week, society completely falls apart. People are rioting, people are angry at each other, people are fighting. I mean, it's crazy. But if you look around, and I know there's suffering, I totally recognize that. But if you look around, there's so much good, there's so much help that is happening in this community. I'm focused on the Greenville community because that's where we live. But around the world, there's so much good things happening, and people are coming together like you guys are doing and helping, kids at school and first responders and everything. And it's just really cool to see how it's different from, the way Hollywood would portray it, that society just totally collapses on itself. We're able to come together and help each other.
Absolutely. I really feel like times like this really show you, who's who and what their heart is made of. It's easy to give when times are great. I mean, very easy. But when things get tough, that's when you really have to challenge yourself. And that's when you got to, pray about it and see how you can be a difference maker and really just show even the smallest act of love to somebody that's probably going through a tougher time than you. Because, you can sit here and we can focus on how the world's falling apart for us. But I guarantee you, if we look beyond, we're going to find people that are going through a little tougher time. And if we can just show those people a little love, then we can all get through it together.
I want to ask just for a minute, you and I talked a little bit beforehand, and you've mentioned it a couple of times. You mentioned prayer and trusting in God. I recognize that not everybody viewing this is going to share the same faith we do, but I know you do and I do, and it's important to both of us. Can you talk just a minute about your faith and how your personal faith is getting you through this?
Yeah, my faith is everything to me. I mean, going back to Tropical again, going back to day one where we started a company literally unemployed because of unfortunate circumstances that we ended up in after our lease was signed and everything like that. We posted our story way back about how Tropical Grill came to be. But God's hand was in it from day one, and every odd stacked against us. 90% of restaurants failed. We literally ended up unemployed. My wife was pregnant, couldn't get a job, and we found our furniture, everything on the side of a road. We couldn't afford a sign to put up on the front of our building. I mean, we bought our first order of food, and if we didn't sell that, we were closed that quickly. I mean, that's how quick it could have been for us. And God showed us His hand in the whole process. And it's just easy to go back to it. Even now, going through a tough time, it's so easy to go back and say, you know what, God had it then, He has it now, and it was never ours to begin with. So let's just let Him do what He does and trust in Him, and whatever He brings, that's fine. We trust Him. So and there's people, like you said, there's people that don't believe, but at worst case scenario, if you're a person that doesn't believe, that doesn't mean that you're not a person that has a good heart and just wants to help your fellow man. And it's a great opportunity for all of us to just be a community and show love to each other regardless of what we believe.
Exactly, man. I won't keep you too much longer, but I wanted to end this with things are changing from day to day. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. We're all we're looking at the stuff coming out of the government and the data and all that, and everybody's trying to be hopeful, I think. So in that spirit, what are you hoping for the future when you guys are able to get back into full swing? What are you looking forward to, ways that you can continue to help your customers?
I mean, I think we've learned some things here. Just even with our drive-through locations, how essential those are, and and if a situation like this, happens again, just efficiency is something that we talked a lot about as a company. We've always felt like we were efficient, but now in a time like this, when people are just on the go and need to get back home and want to make as little contact as possible, there's a lot of little things that we can do as a company to help create a better situation for our customers. And we've learned in it, and then that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue to adapt, and as we continue to grow, the importance of a drive-through for us is crucial. It's really showed itself its value. So
I appreciate it, man. I personally am looking forward to pulling up to that drive-through and saying classic chop, 3 pieces of pita bread and hot sauce. That's my go-to order. I love it, man.
I like it.
Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. Hopefully everything will pick up for everybody, and we'll get back to doing things the way we've been doing them.
Yeah, we're gonna get through this. We definitely will. America will get through this. The world will get through it, and we'll come out better on the other side.
I appreciate it, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Have a good one.